Okay, so let's unpack something that it sounds a little dry on the surface, but is actually a psychological thriller. We're talking about the sociology of financial crimes.
Hmm.
Usually we think the answer to fraud is just, more laws, more paperwork. But if you're just ticking compliance boxes, you've
We've
already,
already lost
yeah,
completely. We get so focused on finding the bad apple.
right, that one rogue employee.
But the sociological view says, forget the apple, look at the orchard. If the soil itself is toxic, it doesn't matter how good that apple was to begin with.
I love that.
Yeah.
It means companies aren't just hiring criminals, in a way.
Mm,
They're making them.
they can be. And this isn't a new idea at all. Edwin Sutherland was talking about this way back in 1939.
Wow, that far back.
Oh, yeah. Before him, crime was seen as, a street-level poverty problem. He came along and coined the term white-collar crime.
And his argument was what?
That high-status professionals learn to be criminal in the exact same way they learn any other part of their job. It's a learned behavior.
So that brings us to differential association. It sounds so academic.
It does, but it's really simple. It means your official ethics training is basically useless if the veteran in the next cubicle is teaching the new hire how to get around the controls.
It's socialization.
Exactly. You join a firm, you want to succeed, you want to fit in. And if the winners are all using, say, creative accounting, you don't see it as a crime.
You see it as the playbook for success.
You see it as the standard. And to make it all easier to swallow, you start to change the language you use.
You start speaking this anti-language.
It's camouflage. It's a way to sanitize what you're actually doing. A great example is the Nigerian Yahoo subculture. They don't say we're scamming people.
No, they use terms like bombing for contacting a victim and billing when they ask for the money.
Billing. Just think about that word for a second.
It sounds so corporate, so detached. I'm just doing some billing. It makes fraud sound like accounts receivable.
Precisely. It neutralizes the guilt. And this ties right into something called convenience theory. For elites, crime is often just the most efficient way to solve a problem.
Because they have a shield of invisibility. Their status protects them.
But it's not always about pure greed. Sometimes it's just about pressure. That's Robert Merton's strain theory.
Okay, what's that?
It's when a company sets an impossible goal, like 20% growth when the market is flat. If legitimate means won't get you there and failure is not an option, people are forced to innovate.
And innovate is just a nice word for cooking the books.
You got it. And you can't have this conversation without talking about Enron,
The ultimate case study.
the poster child for groupthink. Their whole culture was obsessed with the size of the deal. If you raised an ethical flag, you weren't just a buzzkill, you were an enemy of the company.
What's terrifying is the psychology inside that bubble. They don't see themselves as the bad guys.
No, it's overconfidence bias. There's this statistic that 74% of fund managers believe they're above average.
Which is, mathematically impossible.
Right. But that illusion of control leads to insane risks. And when it all falls apart, they switch to self-serving bias.
So they rationalize it.
They tell themselves, I wasn't stealing. I was saving the company from a market crisis. It becomes a rescue mission in their own minds.
So we have this whole network of professionals, all under pressure, speaking their own secret language. Checking their IDs is not going to cut it.
Not even close. We have to stop just monitoring single transactions and start mapping the relationships. That's social network analysis, or SNA.
And you're looking for something called betweenness centrality. Let's break that down. It's not about finding the loudest person at the top of the org chart.
Not necessarily. You're looking for the quiet gatekeeper, the person who acts as a bridge connecting different criminal clusters, if you take them out.
The whole network fractures. You're not just taking out a boss who can be replaced, you're taking out the link.
You're taking out the whole highway. It's a huge shift from looking for bad guys to understanding the social web that lets them operate. It tells us that, the biggest risk isn't a technical loophole, it's human behavior.
So here's a final thought for everyone to chew on. We talked about convenience theory, that elites commit crime because it's the easiest path to their goal. If that's true, does that mean our current regulatory systems, by not making the cost high enough, are actually incentivizing misconduct?
That is the billion-dollar question, isn't it?